Welcome to this week's Wendy Wisdom. I'm happy you're here. Today, we're going to talk about getting more clients with superpower systems. Let's get started. So maybe this is you. You think the only way to getting more clients on LinkedIn is spending hours and hours every day creating content. If that's you, drop me a time in the comments. Now, maybe you're this person. You think ads are the fastest path to making money on LinkedIn. If that's you, say money in the comments. Now, the good news is once you learn how to set up superpower systems on LinkedIn, you can use it to find and be found by customers, LinkedIn content creators with huge audiences, strategic partners, event organizers looking for speakers, podcast hosts looking for podcast guests looking to be on your podcast, and referral partners. It's a lot of people. The bad news is if you learn how to use LinkedIn's Spidey secret tools, but you don't set up a system to use them consistently, you won't get the strategic partners, the speaking gigs, the podcast guest spots, or the referral partners. And then you are letting everybody who's counting on you down, family, friends, employees. Because if you don't use these tools, your business will never, ever become the business you know it can be. And that leaves you super dependent on your existing source of customers. And the way things change these days, having one source or even two sources is not enough sources. Okay, all this is going to take a huge toll on your health, your family, your happiness, and your business. All because you're not leveraging your superpowers to create systems that will allow you to use the tools that are available to you to find the people you need to grow your business. So what if instead of struggling to find the right people at the right time, those strategic partners, the speaking gigs, the podcast guest spots, the referral partners, you actually found them and got the access to audiences filled with your ideal customers that you need to make your business thrive? You would hit that revenue goal. You would work on your business, not in your business. What would that be like? How would that feel? What would finding those people mean for you, for your team, for your family, and for your health? Are you ready to know how to conquer your people connecting issues once and for all? Now let's get clear on why you might want to listen to me when it comes to LinkedIn as an entrepreneur. First of all, I've been here for 20 years. My 20th anniversary is in April. I was the first Wendy Taylor here. And there are a lot of Wendy Taylors in this world, but I was the first one on LinkedIn. And as far as building businesses goes, I've been there too. I scaled a fintech startup from employee 23 to employee 500 and $100 million exit for the founders and investors. I've consulted with 25 venture-backed tech startups with a 64% exit rate, 64%. Building their talent strategy, training the recruiters and hiring managers how to find the people that they needed to grow their business and hit their next milestone. I've coached entrepreneurs, everything from people launching tea houses to CPG brands on Amazon to some tech startups. I've specialized in helping neurodivergent entrepreneurs build a team of referral partners, advisors, and employees that help them get the stuff done without stressing or experiencing founder failure. Now that you know why you're listening to me, let's talk about what you're going to learn today. Before we dive into the steps to make LinkedIn work for you as an entrepreneur, let's deal with that elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is when you think of LinkedIn, you think, probably anyway, it's a place to go if you need a job. It is a modern day resume. It is where recruiters post jobs and find candidates. And it is where people who sell to big businesses find customers. And you're right on all four counts. Yes, that's true. LinkedIn is the place to go for people in most careers to build their brand and find their next job or promotion. LinkedIn has all sorts of tools specifically for recruiters, not just to post jobs, which is the thing you think about, but actually all sorts of amazing tools to help them find their dream candidates for their companies or their clients if they're agency recruiters. And LinkedIn has all sorts of tools specifically for salespeople to find B2B customers, usually the bigger corporation B2B customers. This isn't an all or nothing thing. LinkedIn is also valuable for people like you. So it's a place where you can build your brand, find the strategic partners, the speaking gigs, the podcast guest spots, and the referral partners, even if your customers aren't on LinkedIn, and I'll bet your customers are on LinkedIn. So you have the strategy, you have a profile that aligns with your strategy, you have the business page, you have the skills, you know how to use those cool LinkedIn Spidey secret tools to find and be found by the people that you need to find and be found by, and build credibility and relationships. But here's the kicker. Now that you know how to do all the things and use those skills, you got to actually do the things and use those skills. And I told you that the whole goal was to leverage LinkedIn efficiently, right? I said efficient with time, efficient with money. So where do you find the time and how do you do it consistently? And what if you, like a lot of entrepreneurs, are neurodivergent? I got you. I've been working with the neurodivergent crowd since, well, before I was on LinkedIn, like the last millennia, when I was one of the top experts in the state of Maryland on children with ADD in the 1990s, way back. You know, when dinosaurs walked the earth? Yeah, that's how long ago. So let's see here. Let's dive into how we're going to build you a superpower system to leverage LinkedIn. Step 1. So what does Wendy mean by superpower anyway? I mean the things that are uniquely you, the things that make you special, the things that just flow for you. Step 2. But what do they have to do with setting up a system to leverage LinkedIn? Come on, Wendy. Well, if we want to get something done, we need to pay attention to 2 things. One is our superpowers, because if we leverage those, we'll have more success. Doesn't that actually make sense? Now, the other thing, and this is step 3, is about being real about your brain, not somebody else's brain, your brain. What works for one of my clients is not going to work for another. So let's just say you're one of those entrepreneurs who is not neurodivergent. You don't have ADD, dyslexia, dysgraphia. You're not on the spectrum. You don't have any of a number of things that put you on team neurodivergent. I know those people exist because, quite frankly, I'm one of them. You still have a brain that works in its own unique way. I can guarantee you that most people's brains don't work like mine, and that's totally okay. But then, of course, we have my beloved neurodivergent friends. So, step 4, to set up a success system to leverage LinkedIn, or frankly, to do any of the things you need to do to get customers, deliver results for your customers, and hit your income goals, no matter where you're doing it and what you're doing it with, you need to get real about your superpowers, your brain, and, well, you. So here's some things to ask yourself. How do you motivate yourself? What time of day is it best for you to do the hard things? Which things fall on the hard things list? Is it new things? Is it certain kinds of things? Which things fall on the easy peasy list? How do you build new habits? Do you need to do little spurts every day? Or once you get started, you need to just dive in deep? What tools do you use to track what you need to do and make sure you do it? So step 5, based on all of that, you build a plan and you say, okay, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to do this plan. I call this a system sprint. I take the word sprint from a thing in the tech world from my days in Silicon Valley called Agile. It is an approach to how teams do programming. And it's been around for quite a while now. And I like the idea of the Agile sprint for entrepreneurs. So we're going to try this new thing and we're going to try it for 2 weeks. At the end of 2 weeks, you very gently, no scolding voice, look at how it went. Did you do the things? Did you do some of the things? What worked and what didn't work? Now, let's just be honest. Maybe there were exogenous factors. Last 3 years, I was caregiving. I happen to be, normally, a super organized, highly executive functioned being who coaches people gently and firmly who aren't organized executive functioned beings. But during that caregiving journey, let's just say my ducks were not in a row. The only ducks in a row were the caregiving ducks because they had to be in a row. They were the only ones. So when I say I get you about the exogenous, outside of your control factors that got in the way of you doing the new things that we decided you were going to do for about 2 hours a week, spread out however way it works for you, and you couldn't do them because of exogenous, outside of your control factors, I really, 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 really get you. So in that case, maybe you just repeat the 2 week sprint. Or maybe you throw some spaghetti at the wall and you try something new. And maybe you reach out to me and you say help, which if you're a little like me, asking for help is really scary. But I promise I'm not scary. Okay, here's to making the most of the time that you do have to make your entrepreneurial dreams come true. I'm not leaving you stranded. Daily posts on LinkedIn, daily posts on Facebook, daily posts on my free Facebook group. Get more clients on LinkedIn. If you'd like a cheat sheet for your superpower systems, drop me the word superpower in the comments or send me a DM and I'll hook you up. And if you need help actually figuring out what changes to make to your LinkedIn profile and business page, how to build the strategy and the skills to connect with the people that you actually need to grow your business, and then setting up the superpower systems that actually work for you and not somebody else, but you, let's talk. DM me and we'll make it happen. It's Friday and you know what I'm going to say. Have an absolutely wonderful weekend. Your homework, the old teacher here, your homework is to do something you love with the people you love this weekend. Your business and your bank account and your health. Well, thank you.